Starting now. You're watching QPTV Daily Social Live, QPTV.org's live daily show. I'm your host for today, James. Let's get started. It's Friday, June 4th. Summer is starting to kick in. Not officially, but it's coming up on us. And of course, it's the weekend. Let's get to some show. On today's show, we're going to get into specifically what's happening on QPTV.org because we got a lot to prepare for, but we also need some weekend rest as I'm sure you all do at home as well, or work, or wherever you all happen to be watching this program. Before we get into the heart of the program, let's give you a quick update on what's happening. If you just happen to catch this information, QPTV's channels and website are currently under construction and maintenance. We ask for your patience while we make things better. Program submissions to QPTV's web file upload portal are not currently available. Please do not send in your files for processing via web or email. And if you want to get updates on what's happening, make sure you subscribe to QPTV's newsletter. And this is the new mailing list, by the way. And you want to make sure that you opt in to get all of the updates from Queens Public Television, including special events and programs, of course, facility and COVID-19 updates, and updates on workshops and webinars. Get all the latest news and updates from QPTV. Subscribe to our newsletter right now. Go to qptv.org/newsletter. Or you can go right to qptv.org. It's on the homepage. Sign up. Just give us your email address. You'll get a confirmation email. And just make sure you sign up. Make sure you confirm that you are who you are. And you'll be on the list. It's an exclusive list for only the most discerning people who like content and who want to get the most up-to-date content from Queens Public Television, of course. We also want to remind you, of course, that QPTV is on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitch. You can look up QPTV or Queens Public Television on those platforms. You'll find us. Make sure it's the real QPTV, Queens Public Television. And then you can email us media@qptv.org. Send us your questions or comments. We'll be happy to answer. And if it's a great email, we'll be happy to read it on our show. And while you're at it, make sure you save to your favorites on your remote control. QPTV, we're on Spectrum, RCN, and Verizon Fios. You can go to qptv.org/guide at any time to get that information as well. Yes, folks. So it's Friday. There's a lot going on. We don't even have time to cover it all. So before we get into that, we want to remind you what's happening out there. The fact that June, we're coming up on the primaries. And you'll want to be informed. QPTV.org has an election center right here on our homepage. So you can catch up with debates, candidates forum of different types. You can get the positions on all the candidates, Democrats, Republicans, everything in between. And you can watch that now or anytime on qptv.org. Go to qptv.org/election. And we'll be back with more QPTV Daily Social Live.
This year marks the first year ranked choice voting is implemented in our local elections.
Voters can choose up to 5 candidates.
And with the June primary coming up really soon, it also includes ranked choice voting. So I think it's really important that we all work together collectively to educate our communities about what RCV is. So I challenge you, all the viewers, to talk to a couple people, a couple eligible voters in your life about RCV.
Try to talk to at least 2 voters you know.
2 voters in your life.
Just let them know about ranked choice voting, what it is, and how it works.
And we'll be bringing you the first video in that series that QPTV is happy to bring to you with NYC Votes. Go to voting.nyc to find out more about not only the We Power NYC Ambassadors Program, but also anything dealing with this year's election season, the upcoming primaries, ranked choice voting especially, and like I said before, that Youth Ambassadors Program, which again, I'm happy that we got to do that with, and we'll be bringing you next week. We'll be bringing you interviews with all of those incredibly amazing young people that are representing the program and who are messengers to their communities on how important voting and elections are in New York City, especially. I mean, it's important everywhere, but in New York City, it's critical because it's a lot. It's a lot going on. So we want to give you the information. Again, go to qptv.org/election for our election center for those videos. And of course, you can check out the NYC Votes videos on qptv.org as well. Let's tell you what's going on. Yesterday, we had a simulcast, Broadway Toast Queensborough, and our partners, which if you've been missing Broadway, this is the program for you, because we had the stars and songs of Hamilton, Wicked, The Phantom of the Opera, Dare Evan Hansen, The Lion King. So it was quite the performances that were done virtually, but this went beyond the usual Zoom concerts that we've seen the past year or so. This was done quite well. I don't have it playing in the background there, which I should, but so as you can see, it's even the quality of the video has gone way up, and I think this is a testament to how well people are adapting to the new environment that we're in. And I think a lot of that is coming up in what we'll be talking about on Daily Social Live, especially for QPTV. As we know, the world has changed and is changing. We're definitely looking to bring to you, especially on this program, different ways you can not, if you haven't already transitioned to sort of more of this new production environment. We find that while a lot of things are opening up again, it's definitely fantastically complementary to whatever you're already producing. So you can get those interviews, you can get, you can work remotely, you can work with people that you've always wanted to work with, maybe sometimes across the world. It's now incredibly possible. And we're going to bring you that information as soon as we can. But we're working on a lot on QPTV's Daily Social Live because this is going to be QPTV.org's flagship program, bringing you all the content that's on the website. So what you see here is what QPTV is bringing you. So make sure you watch this program, Broadway Toast Queensborough and our partners, right here on QPTV.org. And while you're on QPTV.org, make sure you also check out the Queens College Commencement. This was another program that, due to COVID-19, it was virtual. But of course, like I said, with the other program, the Broadway program, this was produced. This was incredible production that went into this. So you get more. You actually get more in terms of content, more than just the usual speeches. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but you get a lot more here in terms of something as a student, as a parent, as a family member, as a friend, you can take away. You can watch this on QPTV.org. And even if you're not one of those things, it's fun to watch because it's beyond just the graduation of this class or the students. The speakers and the faculty and the leadership of Queens College. It goes beyond here and now. They talk about the past, the present, and the future. And that's what sort of this experience that you get from higher education, and especially in Queens, that's the kind of thing you gain from that. So you'll want to check this out on QPTV.org, the Queens College Commencement for 2021. Quite a program. Check that out. We'll be right back with more QPTV Daily Social Live. And we're back. Let's see what we got coming up. We want to remind you, I'll keep beating it. I'll be beating the idea that you want to go to QPTV.org to check out QPTV.org's Election Center. And on there, you can find conversations with the candidates. We've got Eric Adams. This is, of course, brought to you by the Queens Chamber of Commerce. Tom Gretsch, the president CEO, is conducting the interviews, and these are little pieces that he's doing with the candidates. Excuse me, President. I don't know if I will make a correction there. We have Ray McGuire here. That is 6. We also have KATHRYN GARCIA, and these are informative pieces. These interviews. These aren't debates. Excuse me. These aren't debates like some of the other programs that we simulcast. These go in depth. These are one-on-one. So you get a different perspective from the debates, which if you're trying to decide and if you're trying to rank in this year's ranked choice voting. It's good to know as much as you can and get a point of view from different angles. And we are happy to bring that to you, where you wouldn't find this sort of coverage and representation of information and specific communities anywhere or everywhere. It's on QPTV, you find it, and you can watch it right now on QPTV.org. And like I said, if you're curious about ranked choice voting, as you should be if you're voting in New York City, and especially if you're voting in the primary, which you should be, you can check out this QPTV, this simulcast of ranked choice voting and explainer, brought to you by Rank the Vote NYC. And you can watch this on QPTV.org right now as well. Get a quick look at the time. We're good on time. So what we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break and we're going to play a little bit of something. So we don't have anything scheduled. We'll play a little bit of make it a surprise. I want to check on time, see what we actually have time, but we're going to take that quick break, very quick break, and we'll be right back with more QPTV Daily Social Live. Microphone. There we go. We're back with more QPTV Daily Social Live. Let's head on over to QPTV.org. Not that. That's the Rank the Choice video. Let's go to the website. I want to tell you that besides watching QPTV Daily Social Live, there I am on the screen. You can check out the latest. We have the NYC We Power NYC Ambassadors video, which we'll play in a second. But we also have the latest simulcast from QPTV. We have QPTV's Election Center. And of course, we have programming from QPTV Presents. That's Queen's Perspectives with host Raza Nieves. There's a ton of episodes you can watch right now. Of course, you can watch back previous episodes of QPTV Daily Social Live. And we also have episodes of Queen's Conversations with Lucia, Noran, and John. You can watch those episodes there. One of my favorite programs on television. Media Lab from QPTV coming soon. I'm not going to tell you exactly what that is yet, but be on the lookout for that. And then, of course, the latest content. Find out about ranked choice voting. QPTV simulcast. You can watch NASA's live stream on QPTV. And then, of course, if you are watching this, you want to know more about what you can watch. But you may also want to actually learn more about media creation and media literacy. We're happy to provide that. Make sure you sign up to our newsletter so you find out when our latest classes, our workshops are coming up. And you don't have to take a workshop if you're ready to create with QPTV. All you have to do is provide us with proof of residency and identification. You don't even have to be a resident, but we want to make sure that you are a real person. Now, all you got to do is go to qptv.org/create to find out how to do that. And of course, you can provide us with special programs, and you can sign up for a waiting list so you can know when series programs will be available through our lottery process. And that's all available on qptv.org/create. You can check that out now. And then, of course, also, if you're watching this or you happen to know of some not-for-profit organization, if you're associated, you'll want to check out the community section, qptv.org/community, where you can find about QPTV's community bulletin board and public service announcements, which of course are a service to the community and are incredibly vital in these times where information about very critical things dealing with COVID-19 and anything associated with relief or treating it or just even mental health. You can use our resources, QPTV Community Bulletin Board or public service announcements to get your word out about your organization and your services. And then you can also check out QPTV's audio section. Go to qptv.org/listen for QPTV Radio and QPTV's podcast. And you'll want to check that out. You can listen anytime there. QPTV's radio player is on our website. As well, you can go to qptvradio.fm anytime to catch that as well. And you want to keep your ears open for QPTV's podcasts as we're looking at 2021 as a big year for that. So we'll be informing you of what's coming up on QPTV Daily Social Live. But if you want to make sure that you're always in the know, make sure you sign up to QPTV's newsletter. Go to qptv.org/newsletter to sign up right now. Let's take that break, which isn't really a break. We're going to play for you the NYC votes. We Power NYC Youth Ambassadors video. And then we'll come back. We'll wrap up the show. And we'll get ready for next week. We'll have more QPTV Daily Social Live coming up right after this.
everyone. My name is Olivia Brady. I am the Youth Engagement Coordinator for NYC Votes. We started this program, the We Power NYC Ambassador Program, as a volunteer opportunity in the summer of 2020. And it was so successful that we were actually able to branch out and secure funding to pay 16 young New Yorkers from across the 5 boroughs to do this incredibly important work of getting their communities engaged, educated, and out to vote this year.
Like voting and participating in local elections is one of the biggest things voters can do.
As ambassadors, we're kind of responsible for communicating all this different information about voting and local government.
I feel like it's important for voters to have unbiased, equitable information regardless of what community you live in.
That you directly and you alone, you have the power to change this city. You have the power to make this city a city that you would want to live in, you would want to raise your own kids in.
Voting really gives you power, even if you don't think it does, it really does. So please vote.
It's so important for your communities, even on a local level. It's really important to vote for what you think would be in your community's best interest.
A lot of the, nuances and small facets of our community that we never really realized, such as the streetlights, the stop signs, do you have bike lanes in your community? Is it safe to cross the street? Those are all impacted by the officials that we elect into office.
So why not start early and try to fix some of those problems and try to shape the city?
Change starts within us, and no matter how small we may think our votes are, they all count towards a major goal of ensuring that NYC is in the state that we all hope for it to be in.
I'm really learning how I can help my community change.
Being involved in your community and educating your community, because no one else will.
Giving my community and surrounding communities a chance to be heard.
You can make such a big difference by voting for someone that aligns with your values, that speaks for what you believe in, speaks for what you speak.
To get registered, to find your poll site, to learn about early voting, you can visit voting.nyc. It's your one-stop shop for all your election needs.
Follow New York City Votes on all of their social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, to stay informed about all the stuff happening locally with elections. They'll show you how you can fill out your ballot, learn about different representatives, and they give you all the deadlines and stuff that you need to know in a fun, informative way.
It is in a non-partisan, non-biased, easy to understand kind of way.
I think that it's really important. It means that other people can be more educated and get more involved in local politics as well, which will impact my and everybody's future.
Vote, get up, go vote, and let your voice be heard.
Take that feeling of power, take that feeling of responsibility, and run with it and do something powerful, impactful, and great for what I think is the greatest city in the world.
Remember to check out QPTV on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Queens Public Television, one word, Instagram, QPTV, Twitter, QPTV, YouTube, QPTV, Queens Public Television, that's one word, LinkedIn, QPTV, Twitch, Queens Public Television. Please, you can just search for QPTV or Queens Public Television, and you'll find us, or better yet, go to qptv.org, and we'll link directly on the top of our homepage. You could also email us at qpmedia@qptv.org. That's media@qptv.org. You can send us your questions or comments anytime. We'll be happy to answer them. And of course, if you're watching us on your cable channels, make sure you save us to your favorites on your remote. Write it down, whatever you have to do. Take a snapshot. But if you're in Queens, you could find us on Spectrum, RCN, or Verizon Fios. We're about to head on out of here. Before we do that, we want to remind you of what's on QPTV.org, and next week we'll tell you what's coming up. Remember, we have the Broadway Toasts, Queensborough and our partners, the Queens College Commencement for 2021. All of these events that were simulcast on QPTV.org, obviously due to COVID-19. And as you can see, we're very happy and proud of what our partners have been doing in terms of elevating and improving and taking this type of thing that would knock a lot of people down and getting back up and being stronger than ever. So we're happy to bring these simulcasts. We're happy that people are continuing to reach out any way they can during this time, just like we are at QPTV. So we're hoping that you get to watch these programs because a lot of people put a lot of time and effort, and we're happy that we're able to bring this kind of information and content to you. So check this out. This is the Queen College Commencement 2021 for not only the students and families and friends and faculty, but for anybody who is interested in watching a really kind of inspiring program coming right out of the heart of Queens. You could also check out the Queens Power 100. This is from City and State New York. They're going over their annual list of the power Queens' most powerful folks, but also it's really sort of speakers discussing Queens and what's happening in Queens and the future of Queens and how Queens is influenced. You can check this out on QPTV.org along with the rest of the simulcast on QPTV. You can also check out Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz's Asian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. That was last month, but this entire program you can find on QPTV.org. Again, it's not just for the Asian Pacific Islander community. It's for all Queens residents to take a moment to, if you don't already, learn more about the culture of your neighbors and or your community. So check this out on QPTV.org. Again, special thanks for District Attorney Katz's office for providing and working with QPTV and simulcasting this program. We're happy to bring it to you. And you'll also want to check out the Conversations with the Candidate series. We have 3 up on QPTV.org right now. And this is, again, brought to you by the Queens Chamber of Commerce, hosted by Tom Gretsch. These are one-on-one conversations with the candidates, Eric Adams. We also have Ray McGuire. And wait just a second of that. And we also have KATHRYN GARCIA. And these are, of course, front runners in the mayoral, the Democratic mayoral primary. And like I said before, we have all types of content related to this year's election, especially the upcoming primary, on qptv.org/election. Or you can go to the homepage. You can find our election center where you can see a player there with some videos that will also link you to that election center page. So you'll want to check that out on qptv.org pretty much right now as we're going off QPTV social live stream. But of course, you can watch previous episodes of this and much more on qptv.org anytime. That's it. Yeah, I think that's it for today. We have to go. We have to get ready for, big stuff happening for next week, but it's also the weekend, and there is time for all of us to take a break, and we're happy to bring these programs and this content to you. So if you're taking a break and you need something to play, go to qptv.org, and there's an almost endless number of things you can play till we're back on Monday and you can watch more QPTV Daily Social Live. We're happy to bring it to you. So don't forget to check out QPTV.org, all those programs that we have today and tomorrow and Sunday and next week. And as long as you can go to our website, it'll be there for you to watch. And once again, thank you for tuning in to Daily Social Live from QPTV. And we'll be back again with more on what you should know from Queens Public Television. Because we can't do this without you. In fact, we're here for you. We want you to become part of our in real life social network. Go to QPTV.org to find out how to watch, learn, and create with QPTV. Tell your friends about us, share, and subscribe. Stay safe and be well.